Market's at risk of a huge sell-off here. Every time this setup's appeared, stocks have sold off. And I want to preface this first by saying it would be a technical sell-off, not a fundamental sell-off. Don't think Nvidia earnings were bad. They were great. So there's no fundamental concern. However, in the short term, markets aren't determined by fundamentals. They're determined by flows. And this particular setup implies certain flows which are about to take place, which could lead to a risk-off event. That setup is dispersion, particularly the spread between dispersion and implied correlation. The spread's at multi-year highs. A spread at highs, implies high dispersion, right? And we've observed that, some stocks are up 5%, some stocks are down 6 or 7%, right? And so there's really high single stock vol, but it cancels each other out. And it sort of leads to this phenomenon of a flat VIX, right? We haven't seen vol really tick up that much despite stocks moving around a lot. And the index has barely budged, right? It's been range bound for quite some time, right? And in a sense, it implies that the index or the VIX is sort of lying about its underlying risk level, its overall risk environment underneath the hood, right? And this spread is unstable at extremes. It tends to mean revert. So, and during those mean reversion processes, the market tends to sell off. So what happens at mean reversion? Correlation snaps higher, right? Spread collapses. And what happens when correlation snaps higher, you usually get a bid to index vol, right? Market makers start hedging their single stock exposure with index vol, which, because everything is so correlated, it also forces short correlation traders to unwind and rebid the index vol. So we're sort of in a scenario where vol is about to get a mechanical bid at support. So the VIX is at support while the S&P is at resistance. Now, for the market to keep rallying from here, I think everybody's stretched. CTAs are stretched. Everybody's long. Where's the marginal bid going to come from? It can only really come from vol funds. I think that, as vol ticks lower, they'll allocate more to risk. And it's really going to be a tall order to ask vol to break this support and sell through this level when we're expecting a mechanical bid to index vol. So for those reasons, I'm a bit cautious up here, and I'm even expecting stocks to sell off. So trade accordingly.